Hey, I know that there's a lot of things to be critical of me for, and I accept that. I've not always made the best decisions, but I've always tried to learn. Always tried to not repeat mistakes and give grace. Truth is I'm trying to do things to build a decent future, and this remodel here is to give a place for people to, come and have conversations and just do things like, build the future. Just build the future in the best way that we can, and we do that by conversation. That's how it starts. Finding solutions through conversation.
I'm Matt Logan, the host of This Matters in Real Life. Oh, hey, stay tuned at the end of this. I'll give you some more information.
Celebrities have been unmasked.
Yes, they have.
Should we be critical of celebrities?
Absolutely.
Why?
They are using their platform to push their agenda and their opinions, which means that they are also open for criticism, just like we are.
Yes, absolutely. And I've had some people actually say, there's some things that can kind of be critical of you. And I'm like, yes, there are. There's a lot of them. And
Absolutely.
That's great. And I said, and I constantly say, I am so thankful that I've learned the things that I've learned. I'm thankful for going through the crap I've gone through. I've made more than my share of mistakes.
During the recording of the following podcast, no Democrats, Republicans, actors, chemists, dogs, cats, well, you get the idea, were harmed. However, it has been said some have been offended by the opinions seen and heard here. Oh, and please remember to pull clips out of context.
Sorry, I'm sorry. We thought you were someone else.
One of the mistakes I don't think I've made is certainly in the last lot of years of my life is trying to tell somebody else how to live.
Correct.
And these celebrities keep coming out and do it this way, do it that way. And I mean, all of these celebrities at the Super Bowl, when the city of Los Angeles itself, let alone the state of California, has mask mandates. They're handing out N95s at the Super Bowl. You're supposed to wear them indoors. They have all these hate Twitter tweets and all this stuff on Twitter and different things on Facebook and Instagram, rants and blah, blah, blah. And
do it for others. Protect everybody.
Right. Rules for thee again, but not for me.
Yep.
And I think that, look,
lead by example.
Let me be really, really, really frank about how I feel about this thing. I think that these celebrities are celebrities because they have massive talent. They're extremely talented people. They're extremely smart people. But let's make sure that we leave it there.
Mm-hmm.
Because guess what came after all of that? People. They're people. They're humans.
Yep.
Just like everybody else is.
Yep.
And so they don't want people telling them how to live and what to do. So why do they feel that they have that power and that capability of telling others what they should do? That's what I would ask Matt Damon. Matt, what do you think here, buddy?
And I mean, devil's advocate, when things were hot and heavy and they were trying to be part of the solution and encourage people to do what was thought to be the best thing for everybody, they were trying to help people. I sincerely hope that was their intention, was to truly help people, but lead by example. And I'm guilty of this, so you can soundbite this all you want, but lead by example. And if the city is still under a mask mandate and you're pushing people to mask, then you should probably be wearing a mask.
Well, let's talk about Eric Garcetti himself, the mayor of Los Angeles.
Of LA.
What, 2 weeks before the Super Bowl or a week and a half before the Super Bowl, he is caught taking a picture with, who was it? Magic? Magic Johnson,
I
right?
think so. Yeah, I'm not sure.
So I think it was Magic Johnson who both he and Magic Johnson have come out and said mask, all the things,
Yep.
all the talking points that the narrative they like. And then they take a picture together. But then Eric Garcetti apologizes and says, I held my breath.
Held my breath.
That's what I do when I take a picture with somebody is I take my mask off, I hold my breath.
And all I can think of is the Friends scene with Joey holding his breath for 3 minutes, and Chandler plugs his nose, and then Joey's like,
right.
yeah.
That's a good one.
It's hilarious.
That's funny.
Somebody should go plug Garcia's nose.
So, right. So I think that when he's Eric Garcetti again is at the Super Bowl, he is not masked. He is chatting with people. I'm quite sure when you're talking, you can't hold your breath.
Correct.
Okay.
Or if you're talking, you're exhaling as you talk.
I mean, he is an elite, he is the mayor of Los Angeles.
It's kind of a big deal.
And I say that sarcastically for sure. But, all these celebrities and these mayors are coming out and not living up to the rules that they set for everybody else. We need to be done with that.
Right. Lead by example, and we all make mistakes. But isn't the Super Bowl like the biggest viewed event in the world, and you're supposed to be setting an example? It'd be like if our mayor came out for a photo opportunity after she required a mask mandate and didn't wear a mask herself. Not that she would push Mrs. Santa Claus out of the way to do that for a photo op.
I just can't do it anymore, man. I can't have people telling other people, not only myself, but other people what to do, and then they don't live by it and they laugh about it and think it's funny and all these other things. We're supposed to be intelligent people and all this other stuff, and these are the people that we're supposed to look up to, especially like elected officials. We elected them. We didn't elect Matt Damon other than with our checkbook,
right?
Things like that. But I guess for me, we're looking at something that is gotten to a point where they're also influential and people are scared and all these other things. And it's like, look, they take the same shots that you take. They have the same masks that you have, all those things that go with it. They're no different.
And maybe they were, I've heard this thrown around of, well, if you don't support it, then you're against it. So maybe they felt guilted into pushing the mask mandates, because if they didn't push for it, then they would have been guilty of not pushing for it. But if you're pushing for it, whether it's guilt or you believe in what you're being told, you should live it.
You should absolutely live it, especially when you're in something this big of a thing and the spotlight is on you in real life.
And they know they're celebrities. They know that the cameras are everywhere and always on them.
Right.
Unless you're behind a locked door, you know that, even then there could be cameras, but you know that there's cameras watching you.
Yeah. 100%.
So live what you preach.
And so when you have, Jlo and Ben Affleck, let's just talk about that for a second. Both of them have come out and said, look, mask up, all of it, the whole thing, the whole narrative. Yep. And then not only are they both not masked, they're both not masked together.
Right.
Next to each other.
And the funny thing is, it was required at the stadium, even though it's kind of an open-air stadium. But they're all in suites most of them are all in suites when they're doing this.
Right.
So they're walking around talking to other people. They're not sitting in their own seats, which, either way, you're right next to other people. But it's just the irony is deafening.
Excuse me. I think it's more than irony, too. I think that I think that it shows disregard for their fans, frankly. I think that they show a respect for their fans by doing something like this, aka they don't really care about their fans. They don't care about people. I think that, to me, that says a lot for that. I do a movie podcast, and I've talked about that on there too, about how I think that this person is extremely talented. I wish they would keep their political views out of where they belong. If they want to be in politics, they want to talk political things, don't do it at the Grammys. Don't,
Right.
those types of things. Time. That's fine. But then live by what you say.
Mm-hmm. And another aspect of this too that was in a lot of articles was, here are all these celebrities, these role models that are not wearing their masks, yet there was like a youth choir that was singing background at the Super Bowl, and every one of those kids had a mask on. And Monday morning when the Super Bowl's done, the kids went back to school and they all had to wear masks.
Absolutely.
A population that is very safe from COVID with very, very small death rates.
Oh, but then the teachers
COVID.
go crazy and say, well, it's to keep us protected.
They do come with that angle, yes.
Not all teachers, I shouldn't say.
Not all the teachers, but I think the
of
teachers' unions are pushing that pretty hard.
But then I have literally seen a post from someone that was same kind of thing, mask. Well, guess what? They're out and around without a mask on, around public people, or people in public. And so it's like you can't have both ways, people. That just doesn't work that way.
No.
Not for very long. And it really, I think what this did for me, and I kind of already knew this, but what this did for me was all these people and celebrities and mayors and governors that have tried to maintain control in lockdowns and mask mandates and vaccine mandates, they really think and believe that they are elite people, and they are the ones who should be making the rules for all the plebes and not live by them. Mm-hmm. I think that really shows that, especially when The Rock comes out and has this whole big rant and video about the mask and how important they are and that they work and all that, and then he does what he does. No. Right. I'm out.
It's the reason that they're being picked on is because they were pushing this, and they were on their soapboxes, preaching for everybody to do what's good for everybody else. But they're not living what they're preaching, and that's the frustrating part. If you just would have kept your mouth shut, and lived your own lives, and it just. Yeah, it's frustrating that they were screaming for everybody to do this, but they're out in very public eye.
Ellen DeGeneres, who was in the mix-up here too, she was just days ago, her audience or whatever had to have masks, and she didn't. Audience. And she's around all these public people, and they didn't. And so again, it shines a light on that they really think that they're elite people. They don't really much care about anybody else. They want their money. They want their fame. They want their power. They want all those other things. And if they want to do and make these choices, I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I'm not okay with them saying what they're saying and trying to make everybody else live by their rules, but not have the same rules for themselves. That's my ultimate. Like that digs pretty deep.
Yeah. If they would have dropped the mask mandate Saturday before the Super Bowl, this wouldn't have been a conversation.
Right. But
or if they didn't require the students or the kids in the choir to wear masks literally feet from themselves.
Right. But literally Snoop Dogg comes out, days before the Super Bowl about masks or something like that, or makes at least a comment about it, I had heard.
Don't be picking
it's
on
somewhere probably in my mix of things here, and then he's walking around without masks, but his entourage are all masked up. Mm-hmm. That says a lot. And
why you got to be picking on Snoop?
Well, I'm not picking on Snoop.
Equal opportunity, I know.
Look at all the people that literally had to work the halftime show. All of those people had to work really hard to get where they got.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't let anything keep them from doing what they did.
Right.
That wasn't on the table.
The performers. Oh, absolutely. They
every single one of
overcame
them.
some pretty tough situations.
For sure. And that's fantastic. That's
Absolutely.
incredible.
Yep.
And tell us how you did it if you want to. Tell us the steps that you took. But to tell us to wear a mask and then not do it yourself and things like that, it's hard to take that in stride, I guess. But that's my 12.5 cents.
Got any change?
No.
Okay. Well, change is coming. Masks are coming off. That's all I got. I'm done.
We appreciate you allowing us to make mistakes, those of you who are listening, watching, because it happens all of the time. And I love to hear from you. I know that I get a lot of direct messages. I really appreciate that. I guess we'd love to have you hammer the like button, hammer the share button, send this to your friends. Obviously, every episode that we do isn't going to be for you, and I totally understand that. But the ones that you do like, that you do appreciate, us working class people, we would love to hear from you in the comments on that as well. So we will see you next time.
Hey everybody, thanks for listening to this conversation that I just had. I was very honored to be a part of it, honored to be the host of This Matters in Real Life. I think it's extremely important to cover a lot of different things and topics and get people's opinions. When my daughter died in the car crash 10 years ago, I said that's what I would do. I would look at the answers, I would look at the truth, and I would make sure that they would intersect. They would not divorce each other. It's so often that we want answers that are not the truth. We want answers that are comfortable. We want answers that make us feel good. Well, there's a lot of things in life that it's not the case. So who am I? Well, I am you. I'm no different than you are. I eat and sleep and, all the different things. Same thing that you do. I hurt. I feel joy. I've had a lot of experience, probably just like you. I work hard, probably just like you. One of the things that you can do to support us is go to shinybrandmerch.com, where you'll see things like the sweatshirt that I have on. I'm a full-time, a truck driver. What do I deliver? Well, I deliver trucks. It's a little bit different of a gig than a normal truck driver, yes, but I am what would be considered a commercial vehicle transport specialist. So about 5 to 6 days a week, I deliver trucks. I get into a truck, I go 2,000 miles, I deliver it to its new owner, I get on an airplane and I go find another one. Nothing real glamorous unless you make it that way. And I've decided that I would have a lot of conversations along the way, and some of those conversations I'll be able to share with you. Again, hey, thanks for your support. Appreciate you. We'll see you next time.